Hello everyone and welcome to Retro Brick Reviews, where today we'll be taking a look at the recently revealed LEGO Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Newt's Case of Magical Creatures. This is set 75952 with 694 pieces for $50, which is a really good price, by the way. And this comes with a lot of stuff, as you can see here, but we're going to be taking a look at things one at a time, starting off with the case itself. So first off, this is what the case looks like all folded up. I actually think it looks pretty great, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it to look this good when you have it all folded up, but it's pretty nice. You have a lot of detail on here. Like, you have sort of the tan stripes on it, which I don't remember if they were tan, but I do remember those two sort of raised lines, so that's nice. You have the corners done in a light tan, but then you actually have the couple of latches on top, as well as the handle, which looks like, I mean, obviously that handle is very small, so you could probably only fit one or two fingers in there, but it's alright. And you do also have a stickered piece for the lock on the case, as well as one just showing Newt's initials. But obviously the case can open up, and as you can see here, just by opening up the top, up of the case, or well, most of the top, you can see that you already have a pretty nice interior design. You can see that a small section of the lid of the suitcase is left behind, though, and there's a reason for that. But yeah, you can also see that there is definitely a lot of stuff inside of the case, but in order to get some better access to that, you can fold out the sides, as well as fold up the remaining section of roof to be the roof to the little shack, which is nice. We can't really see what's inside of that little shack build, but we can see on the front that there are a couple of stickers to just show some wood planks on the front. You have some foliage growing around that. And then on the left, you have a sink, as well as a brush and a meat cleaver. Interesting choice of tools. And you also have sort of a nice rocky outcropping with a couple of white flowers, and I think this is supposed to be sort of the habitat for Frank the Thunderbird because of the rocky outcropping, but not entirely sure there. And the other side we don't really have a good look at, but basically you can sort of see the gray section with all the gold studs on top. That's the Niffleur, like the little Niffleur den. And then the rest of it is basically for the Acme. You can see an egg resting in the nest, and I wish the egg had been silver, because I know that in the movie the inside of the egg was silver and the outside was still white, but I mean, so I can see why LEGO did this, because again, technically when it's the full egg it would be white, but I don't know. I just kind of wished it had been silver, because that would have been cool. You can see that the egg is resting on a nest, and I legitimately don't know what that piece is. I doubt it's a new piece for the nest, but I mean, we can't really see from this angle, so you never know what it could be. But yeah, moving on to the beasts, the first of them is probably the least interesting, at least in my opinion. The Rumpit. Or Rumpent, I can never remember. But anyway, this looks pretty good. I mean, the body and the legs, I think, are really well done. I'm glad that on the legs there aren't any, like, exposed Technic pins or anything. And overall, you do have some very nice shaping on the body. The head, though, I mean, it feels like the head should have been a bit wider, maybe, and the horn is a bit too thin and short, but with LEGO's parts catalog, really the horn is excusable, but I kind of wish the head had been a bit wider, or at least the orange, the trans orange part on top. That is definitely too long and too narrow. Like, I feel as though maybe they should have not had the frontmost cheese slope. I think that maybe should have just been gray. And then maybe the part where that's a 1x2 plate, maybe that could have been 2x2, or maybe they could have had like a 1x1 plate on the front on a jumper, and then behind that you could have had a 1x2 plate. I don't know, I just think that looks too thin to just have the single centered 1x2 plate. I don't know, but you do have a nice eye print, which I think looks pretty good. But yeah, that's really all I can say about the Rumpit. Pretty cool beast build, but definitely not perfect. The Thunderbird, though, pretty much is perfect. I mean, as you can see, it uses the nice elf's head mold, which I think works pretty well. The body, I think, is built up very nicely. I mean, like, when I first saw this, I honestly thought that the body was using the mold from the Lord of the Rings Great Eagles. It took me a minute to realize that it was brick built, so that's just a testament to how well LEGO did with it. So that is a really nice design for the body. You have a couple of stickers on there to show some feather details. And the wings are actually from the Great Eagles from the Lord of the Rings sets, but this time with a white and gold color scheme, which is nice. The feet are built up, each with 2 gold talons. That looks pretty good. And on the back, you have the 2 golden tails, each tipped with a Chimo eagle wing piece, to sort of have some feathers at the back, and also at the front, or, well, I don't know what you call it, like, the front of the tails, like, the part that the tails come out of, you also have some feathers there, so, pretty great design for Frank the Thunderbird, and probably definitely the best of the 3 beasts in the set. But that's not to discount the Acme, which also looks pretty good for being a weird snake bird. I kind of wish that maybe it could have been a bit of a darker blue. Like, this seems to mostly use the color of blue LEGO uses for, like, I don't know the different color versions of Azure, but, like, this is the color LEGO uses for Minecraft diamonds. I kind of think it would have looked better if it was the color of Steve's shirt. But anyway, this is still a pretty cool looking design for the Acme. It again uses that elf's head mold, but obviously in a different color with different printing. And then obviously the majority of it is built up using those gray ball joint pieces, except here it actually looks good. Unlike that god-awful basilisk. I mean, LEGO, it's almost as if you put effort into what you design, it actually comes out looking pretty good. Who'd have thought? But yeah, I mean, you can see that it looks as though LEGO's done a pretty good job at trying to cover up as much of the joints as they can. Like, you can see here that from a lot of angles that they're showing the little down-hanging fang pieces that are on one side covering up the ball joints. I'm not sure what's on the other side, although I believe that they might just have up-facing brackets to cover it on that side, which I think would be pretty good. But yeah, you can see that it uses these nice wing pieces that I don't know where those were introduced. But anyway, you can see that they're being used in a nice hot pink color, which I think works pretty well for this weird snake bird Acme. Because that is basically what an Acme is, but yeah. Overall, not much more to say. Just a pretty nice looking build, and it is the last of the 3 brick-built beasts in the set. So now let's move on to the minifigures, the first of which is, of course, Newt Scamander himself. And I think the question arises, which is better, the LEGO Dimensions Newt or this Newt? And the answer is, I don't know. Because, like, obviously the torso print, he's no longer wearing his jacket. I'm guessing that LEGO did this not only because there was a scene when he was in the case where he didn't have the jacket, but more importantly, so that LEGO didn't have to put leg printing in this set. I mean, like, that's probably the actual reason behind it. But yeah, he has his sort of orange vest, which looks nice. And the hairpiece is, unfortunately, still the spiky, sleepy hair. Really hate that. I mean, I don't know why LEGO isn't using, like, a more accurate hairpiece. I feel as though maybe Jay's hairpiece from the LEGO Ninjago movie in this caramel color would work pretty perfectly, but guess not. But the face print, I'm also not too sure about, because I feel as though this one definitely sort of, the expression is great, but I feel as though, like, the facial features kind of lost the likeness to Eddie Redmayne a little. Like, I feel as though if LEGO had this expression, but with the facial features of the LEGO Dimensions Newt, it would have been pretty much perfect, but yeah. Pretty alright, though, still. The back of this guy, he has a scared face, which I think works a lot better than the angry face that we got as the alternate for the Dimensions version, but what I think is odd is on the back of the torso, the entire vest is printed as being brown, even though the front doesn't have that. What's going on here? Why is the back of the vest brown? If someone can tell me in the comments, that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks. The next figure we get in this set is Queenie Goldstein, who is definitely a downgrade from LEGO Dimensions. I mean, I kind of like what LEGO tried to do here, and there are a few successes, but overall it is the inferior version of Queenie, definitely. To start with, the hairpiece is just not accurate. I don't know why LEGO got rid of that great hat-hair combo from Dimensions. I don't know, maybe this was cheaper? Not too sure. But yeah, I feel as though if LEGO wanted to give Queenie a hairpiece without her hat, I feel as though the hairpiece from Kira from Solo: A Star Wars Story could have worked a bit better, but oh well. The face print is literally just the one from Dimensions, though, and the torso print is pretty much also the Dimensions one, except now it's on a dark gray torso instead of light gray. I do prefer the dark gray color, but I'm not the biggest fan of how LEGO just completely cut off the coat at the torso. That just isn't accurate. It really should carry down onto the legs, but I mean, it's alright. I mean, I do prefer the Dimensions version, partly because of the hat-hair combo, and partly because that one had leg printing, but this is still a pretty nice figure. And there you can see the back printing, which is just the Dimensions version. Again, same printing, just on a different color. And the alternate face, which again is the same that we've had since 2016. The third figure in the set is Mr. Jacob Kowalski, who is definitely the fan favorite of the movie, so it's great to finally get him in minifigure form, and did LEGO do justice to such a character? Kinda. I mean, first off, you can see from his torso that he's printed with the armor from the Rumpit scene, which I think is a good call. Not only because, obviously, in future Fantastic Beasts sets, we'll get Jacob again, and in those sets he won't have the armor, but also, I mean, outside of just this set having an exclusive version, there's so many LEGO minifigures that wear gray suits. This really does mix it up a little, so I kind of like this because of that as well, just because it's unique. It's a unique design that we're not going to be seeing again. I like it. But yeah, as you can see, Jacob comes with an umbrella for some reason, and his hairpiece, I think, is pretty good. It's the dog show host hairpiece from Collectible Minifigures series whatever, 16 maybe? Is it series 16? Yeah, series 16. That hairpiece in dark brown, which is nice. It's not unique, though. It also appears on the red brick suit guy in minifigure series, the most recent one. But yeah, the face print I feel is pretty good. I think it's a good likeness, good expression. It's good, yeah. Jacob also comes with a brown helmet to go with his armor, and his alternate face is designed to go with the helmet, but unfortunately we don't have a picture of him with the alternate face and the helmet, so yeah, but this is the alternate face. It's a scared face. I don't think it looks too much like Dan Fogler, and due to the chin strap, this can only be used with the helmet, which is quite unfortunate, because, like, does this face, you're not looking at this main expression and thinking, oh, that looks really bad with the helmet, he needs a chin strap, because he doesn't. You don't need a chin strap. It's just an unnecessary detail, so I wish LEGO had left it off. But in general, I think it's a bit of an odd choice to even have a scared face. Like, I think it would have been better to have him, like, smiling or something. I mean, isn't he supposed to be, like, the comic relief, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, overall, that's Jacob. Pretty cool figure. But the best figure in the set is undoubtedly Queenie Goldstein. Starting off, that's a new color for her hairpiece, which is pretty neat. The face print is very exceptionally happy, almost to a point of being kind of ridiculous, but I think it works pretty well. The torso is nice. You have the lines for the sides of her torso to create the more, the feminine shape. That's a good way of putting it. Anyway, but, you can see the sort of puffy inside of her coat around the collar, as well as sort of the scarf she's wearing underneath that. And, she actually has leg printing, which is, she's the only figure in this set to get that luxury, so it looks pretty nice. Obviously, she's printed to have her skirt that reveals some of her legs. And she also has shoes. And I mean, normally I don't like it when minifigures have shoes, but I mean, I think it sort of works here because it would be kind of odd to just have the skin showing and the just then plain pink legs. It would sort of look like she's just wearing slippers. So, yeah, I think this is a good call. I mean, in general, I think minifigures should only have shoes when, and it's integral to the design, or it would look weird without them like this. So I'm glad that LEGO didn't decide because of this to give shoes to every figure in the set, because that would have looked awful. I don't like minifigures with shoes, but it's a necessary evil in some cases, such as this one. But yeah, and here's Queenie's alternate face, which I think is a bit better than the primary one, mainly because this one looks a lot less cartoony, and therefore more like the actress who portrayed Queenie. And yeah, it's just a nice scared expression. I like it. It's good. And then the last figure we get in the set isn't a minifig, but it's this cute little Niffleur. I want 5. How much is the set? $50? Okay, I'm spending $250 just to get 5 Niffleurs. I mean, sure, they'll probably be on Bricklink for like $3.50, but who cares? I'm buying 5 copies of the set to get 5 Niffleurs. But in all seriousness, this guy looks pretty adorable. He has the minifig eyes. He's double molded, so you have all of the like the nougat parts. He has the little platypus bill. He has cute little paws. He's great. And overall, great is a pretty good word to describe this set. You get an awesome main build for the suitcase. You get some awesome beast builds. You get some awesome minifigures. It's great. Everything is awesome. Even the price. Would I recommend this set for $50? Heck yeah. I mean, in fact, I'm not sure where this ranks in my overall ranking of sets that we're getting